Up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start. And that, folks, is how I got kicked out of a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate tournament. Mainly for playing the game with a PS4 controller. Hi everybody, welcome to Let's Talk Anime. I'm Derangerous, and let's take a turn back in time for a moment, shall we? What was your very first video game system? I mean, for me, I played something called a Pico. Don't remember what the fuck that whole thing was about. All I remembered was I played the shit out of it and I loved it. So yeah, High Score Girl. It's our Netflix anime brought to you in part by Raphael. Remember, if anybody has anything negative to say to me because of what I say about High Score Girl, blame Raphael. After all, he's the one who suggested it and you all voted for that choice. To understand High Score Girl, you gotta understand Rinsuke Oshikiri, or his real name, Ryota Kanzaki, or Kanzaki Ryota. You just gotta understand Oshikiri. But you can't just simply understand Oshikiri. You gotta understand Pico Pico Boy. Pico Pico Boy is an autobiographical manga about Oshikiri. To better understand Oshikiri as a whole, it's best to actually read this manga, and oh man, this guy is a total gaming addict. I mean, he's passionate, don't get me wrong. I'm passionate about a lot of things too, but it says something when you let your video games kind of rule your life. According to Oshikiri in Pico Pico Boy, he wasn't that great of a student. Here's what I mean. So, it all started when he met a girl and him and the girl started playing on the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo in Japan. He would play the Super Famicom like all the time. He was so obsessed with it. He would love just hanging out with this one girl playing the Super Famicom. But the girl started getting bad grades and she was getting yelled at for it, so her dad made her give up her Super Famicom to Oshikiri, and Oshikiri took it, and he felt sad that he could not play with her anymore. For about 10 minutes, and then he just dove himself deep into the Super Famicom games and started playing video games like crazy. As a result, the girl started getting better grades, she started to become more sociable, while Oshikiri became more antisocial, and yeah, his grades just went straight down the drain. As time went by, Oshikiri got more serious and mature. He started focusing on more important things in the world, such as Resident Evil 5 and how Sheva was by far one of the most annoying characters in that whole franchise at the time. Seriously though, have you all ever played Resident Evil 5? Because Sheva literally jumps in the way when you try and take a shot, okay? She ruins shit, okay? I don't even know why they even put her in there. They thought, okay, here's Ashley from Resident Evil 4, let's see how we can make her worse. Give her a gun and make her get in trouble all the time. This was also Oshikiri's thoughts too on Sheva. The best way to describe him would be to refer to him as and this was his words, a shithead virgin. His words! His exact words. To this day though, Oshikiri still plays video games and it is one of the main driving forces of High Score Girl. In fact, one could say High Score Girl is basically a different version of Pico Pico Boy. But with me talking about High Score Girl all the time, what is High Score Girl? The plot of High Score Girl is this. It's like Pico Pico Boy, except with romance. This anime takes place in the 1990s, one of the greatest generations of video games. I mean, it was legit the golden age of video games. Okay, stop it because you're about to go on a completely separate tangent that has nothing to do with this, although it does, and I want to talk about it. Anyway, so basically you got this kid who spends every day playing video games nonstop. And just like Oshikiri in real life, his grades suck shit. He spends every day playing Street Fighter 2 constantly, beating people, racking up a really good win record until A girl comes in, sits down, and challenges him, and completely curb stomps him badly. The main character ends up really getting obsessed, wanting to try and beat this girl, and eventually they bond and start sharing their love of video games, graphics, and everything, and it blossoms into something more. Just think, this was an entire romance that all started because some guy got pwned by a girl in the arcade. In Street Fighter 2 by Zangief while playing Guile, because America. Let's meet the characters in High Score Girl, shall we? Our first character is Haruo Yaguchi. Haruo is the fantasy version of Oshikiri, down to a detail. I mean, this guy is the exact copy of Oshikiri, except possibly worse. Haruo tends to see video game characters. He's possibly delusional. Like, when he walks around, everything around him is video games, which granted, I was obsessed with video games too, but I wasn't that obsessed. To the point where he's like practicing control movements with his fingers in class. He's sitting there just thinking about it. He gets called on in class and he doesn't know what the hell's going on. When he studies for a test, all of a sudden, video game knowledge pops in and he has no clue what it is he's taking a test on the next day. Haruo is a bit of an idiot, but he's a damn amazing gamer. I'll give him that. Also, in this anime, Street Fighter 2 characters tend to kind of represent different characters in the show. So the character that represents Haruo a lot is actually Guile. I mean, he literally sees Guile and Guile gives him advice. Our next character is Akira Ono. Ono is basically the female version of Haruo. She's smarter, she's more responsible, she takes better care of herself, she pays attention to her appearance, and she loves video games with a burning passion. Okay? She doesn't let the video games run her life. She enjoys them, but she knows that there's more to life than video games. She has to work hard, but it comes at a price. The price? Parents. They have her whole life planned out before she can even say anything. Not that she does say anything. Oh yeah, Ono doesn't talk. But her parents make sure that her life is already planned out to the tiniest detail, even down to the guy she will be spending the rest of her life with. All that pressure building up inside of her, she has to release it one way or another. And it's either video games or physically abusing Haruo. Seriously, this girl is fucking violent. I mean, she doesn't talk, she kicks ass in video games, and she kicks ass in real life. Oh, another fun fact. Zangief represents Ono. It's kind of cute. Now, believe it or not, Ono has an enemy. There is another character in High Score Girl. This character is Koharu Hidaka. I bet you're thinking right now, Koharu Hidaka, she must be like some bratty girl, okay? Someone who's just mean, vile, and just despicable. And in actuality, you are 100% wrong. She's actually one of the most sweetest characters in this whole anime. I mean, she's very nice to Haruo. She doesn't physically abuse him. She's like very patient, and she's not afraid to go straight up to him and just tell him, hey, I am in love with you. I want to be your girlfriend. Pick me over Ono. I'm the one for you. I want to come and play video games with you. I want to just be with you. I want to talk video games with you. Her heart literally burns like hell for Haruo. But Haruo, being the stereotypical guy who's obsessed with video games, doesn't realize any of it. Oh, in case you're wondering which character represents Hidaka a lot better, Akuma. It's Akuma. I mean, it's kind of funny because you've got Guile representing Haruo, Zangief representing Ono, and then you've got Akuma representing Hidaka. It's kind of cute and funny, and there's this whole thing with Ono and Hidaka butting heads when they actually try and settle their score. It's actually really good. So, as you can probably tell, Haruo and Ono are the ones who are basically in love with each other. And if you watch the anime, it's kind of clear that, yeah, those two are going to end up together at the end. Yeah, at the end. At the end of the anime, you get to see them finally be together as an actual couple. Yeah, that is what a lot of us watching this anime would expect. So yeah, that's kind of what happens. But being someone who grew up in the time of video games and just watching technology change and everything, it's fun to watch it through another person's perspective, especially someone who is way older than you. I mean, this whole series is great. I recommend it. Just don't get too invested. Oh, what the fuck am I saying? You're all gonna get invested and then you're gonna understand why I feel the same way. So yeah, that was a fun episode of Let's Talk Anime. As usual, I'm your host, Derangerous. If you like this episode, please do me a huge solid and like, comment, subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, please hit the bell icon so that way, notifications, new episodes. Also, we got Twitter now, so follow us on that. And tune in next time where, man, I'm doing a lot of trips about nostalgia. This next one is also going to be a huge nostalgia trip for me. Until then, peace out. My very first game on that thing was The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. To tell you the truth, I didn't even know what The Legend of Zelda was. I thought this was like Weed Simulator, except occasionally a monster jumps up and tries to kill you.